morning, good evening, good afternoon, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I read to you headlines from my news feed and share with you my thoughts about those headlines. And my thoughts may be based on having read the article. It may be that I'm well versed on the subject matter at hand, or it may just be my thoughts based on having read the headlines. But it's not news, it's just my thoughts on the news. So let us proceed. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Taxpayers paid $342,000 in workplace discrimination settlements at House Lawmaker's office. Nigeria fake drugs. My patient woke up mid-surgery. So I guess they gave them some stuff. They were supposed to keep them out, knock them out so they could do the surgery on them. And during the surgery, the people done woke up. The drugs didn't work. Fake drugs. This 20-year-old aviation expert says Singapore Airlines' new A380 first-class luxury suite beats Emirates hands down. Emirates? It's Saudi Arabia. What is it? Emirates. I'm hands down. Here's why. Anyway, these two luxury airline, when you fly, you can get suites now. And they're saying that the Singapore Airlines is way better than Emirates. Somehow the name of this country seems weird. Malaysia MPs are worried AirAsia's flight attendant uniforms are too sexy and may arouse passengers. And when I looked at the images, they look like red suits. They were a little on the tighter side, but you have, young women. They were around knee length, but they were suits. So, they weren't, I don't know. They didn't look like, I don't know. They look cute. They look like stewardesses uniforms. South Korea wants to push back military drills for a peaceful Winter Olympics, but the U.S. says they're still on. A baby has been born after the embryo was frozen for 24 years, breaking the world record. 24 years? Wow, that is amazing. U.S. lifts ban on lethal virus experiments despite security risk. Go ahead and do these experiments. I think that's more President Zero and his administration's doing. We don't need to regulate nothing. Just free for all, free for all, free for all, except for the poor people. Worse for y'all, worse for y'all. Free for all, worse for y'all. The U.S. and China are preparing for all hell to break loose in North Korea. China, I read in this article, is doing nuclear drills. Like they're giving their citizens information about what to do, I guess, if North Korea throws a nuclear bomb over there. Former Boston Archbishop who covered up child molesters in the Catholic Church has died. So what happens to the soul of someone who covers up the molestation of children? I mean, that's like deep. That's deep. And I don't want to say rest in hell. I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to wish ill on anybody's soul, but it's people are out here in this world. Some people in this world are out here doing some really like stuff that looks like evil and just awful and terrible. And I guess you hope that people experience the consequences of their behavior. And I guess theoretically we figure people do experience the consequences of their behavior. But then it seems like, is this child who's being molested experiencing the consequences of their behavior? Like sometimes you just have like an existential crisis, like of the belief system, like, dang, some stuff just seems really, really jacked up. And that's when you have to just like pray and just, I guess, pray, right? How do we understand things like this in the world? Airline seats have shrunk as much as 4 inches over the years. A longtime E! News host has abruptly left the channel after learning her co-host earned double her salary. And her co-host was a man. I saw her resign, and I just happened to see it. And I was like, huh, what is she? She's like, oh, you guys are wonderful. And I was like, what's going on? I've been here for so long. But it was because she found out that the man was making more than, earned double her salary. She said, we're doing essentially the same job. Why is he being paid twice as much? I feel kind of stupid. Like, I've given my whole life to this station. I've made sacrifices. That woman has been there 10, 15 years, I think I read. The worst part of the GOP tax bill has nothing to do with the economy. This person says it has to do with what it reveals about us as a society. That we don't that our politicians are sloppy, our politicians are easily bought, and that we just are letting them do whatever the heck they want to do. YouTube prankster admits killing boyfriend in a stunt gone awry. This was the woman, this happened in June, and they put the book up against the guy, and then they shot the gun, and he ended up dying. But she said in the article, because I'm like, I don't understand. But in the article that I just read, she said that he showed her a bunch of books where he had shot the gun through and the bullet hadn't gone through. Y'all, it's all fun and games until your behind is dead. Don't be doing no pranks like that. Don't risk it's not, Saudi Arabia, Belgium to appoint first female ambassador to Riyadh. That's how you pronounce it, Riyadh. Dina Malaye under fire for rap video cameo appearance. I think this was somewhere in Nigeria. Eni and Shell on trial in Italy over Nigeria corruption. Shell as in Shell Oil, as in apartheid. And Eni, I guess, is another oil company. And I guess they saying that they done bribed somebody to do something. This burger chain wants to replace cashiers for machines that analyze your face and know your order. You come, you smile. It's like, oh, Angela, she always get the veggie burger with caramelized onions and tomatoes and lettuce and grilled green peppers and red peppers, grilled peppers, and ketchup and mustard, organic ketchup and mustard. What else do I like on burgers? I like mine like mushy and gushy. But you smile and the thing know your order. Like when you call the pizza place and they're like, are you calling from this number? Do you want this? But usually it's a person. I've never had a computer ask me. A psychologist reveals 3 simple ways to feel happier during dark winter days. I think they said stay in touch with your friends. Go for a walk first thing in the morning, like early in the morning. Get that sunshine. Myanmar bars UN probe as mass grave found in Rakhine. They were about to go in, and then they were like, nah, y'all can't come in. Because they saying that it hasn't been genocide of those people, the Rohingya. But I think the evidence, it seemed like they trying to cover up the evidence of what has been done. Why do we be killing people because they have a different religion or a different skin color? What's wrong with people? Mexican journalist shot dead at son's school. Rest in peace. That's awful. Kenya's Dream City nightclub in Kisumu hit by deadly fire. Oh my gosh, rest in peace, people. I didn't read the article. Study: high stress and adversity negatively affect the developing brains and bodies of young children. Welcome to being black in America. A lot of children are under high stress and adversity, not just black children, but I bet you disproportionately more black and brown children are under high stress and anxiety. Movie Pass clicks past 1 million subscribers. Y'all, I've just been getting so like obsessed with this whole Movie Pass thing. $8 a month to see unlimited movies. I never go to the movie theater. Not so much, but I mean, it's kind of like where I live. I have to go out into the suburbs, and for the most part, and then I be feeling like I ain't really a big supporter of like, I like to shop. I like to support the city I live in. I don't really like the whole suburban thing. And this one city is one theater in the city that I think is part of it, but it's like more of an art house, and there aren't very many theaters in the city. And then but I don't know. I'm just like, every time I see an article, I'm like, I have to get the $8 a month Movie Pass, and it was $9.95, and then now it's $8, and it's a limited time offer, and I'm just like, but I don't know if I'm just buying into the hype. Like, if I had it, would I get up and go see a whole bunch of movies? Because now I'm like, ooh, I want to see Ocean's 8. But I don't know if it's just because of this Movie Pass stuff got me like, ooh, I want to go to the movies. Because now I got about 3 or 4 movies in the queue that I want to go see. Maybe more than that. Argentina passes pension reform despite violent protest. MDOT announces plan to tear down America's silliest interstate, I-375. This is the interstate in Detroit. Apparently, I didn't know this. I thought that 75 was the one that came through in the 60s, in the 40s. When did they, throughout the country, they built highways through black communities. And in Detroit, we had a community called Black Bottom, so it probably wasn't the 60s. Probably maybe like the 40s or the 50s, I don't know. But they destroyed the community to build this highway. But this highway is like a mile long. So it was like a thriving black community with businesses and people living there and people owning things. And, but there's been a systemic, whenever you see groups of black people who are doing well in this country, it seems like, I think, I haven't done the research, but I suspect that you could probably document, the government and or other entities tearing down that black community and breaking it up. We've seen it with Black Wall Street, but I don't think that Black Wall Street is an exception. I think that just happens to be one example of it. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, they call it Black Wall Street. They called it Black Wall Street before it was systemically destroyed. So now, however many years later, they're gonna, get rid of the interstate, but the black community that was there. My father's father had a business in that community, but maybe not around the time of the freeway expansion. I have to do some research. Charlottesville's first African-American police chief retires after criticism over rally. So when this whole thing was going on in Charlottesville with the Klan coming through and the tiki torches and all of that, y'all, did you know that they had a black police chief? And he just retired abruptly yesterday or today or Monday or something like that. I had no idea. What? Despite a recount that certified results making Keisha Lance Bottoms Atlanta's next mayor, Mary Norwood refuses to concede. I'm not conceding, she says. She probably liked the guy in more. She probably gonna wait on the Lord to tell her to concede. Ex-roommate in smeared body fluids case pleads not guilty, avoids hate crime. Remember the white girl who was talking about her roommate was Jamaican Barbie, and she was doing all kinds of disgusting things to her roommate's belongings, and her roommate was going to health services because she was sick and having infections in her throat. And the girl said she was putting, the white girl said she was putting the black young woman's toothbrush in places that the sun don't shine, and the black woman says that she would like wash her dishes when she was finished, and then the white girl was saying that she was doing stuff to her dishes, so she come in with food and put them on her clean dishes, which weren't clean. The girl was smearing menstrual blood on her bag that the young black woman said she kept near her, on her bed where she slept. I don't want to talk about it, but so now the child, the white girl, is pleaded not guilty, so she avoids being prosecuted. It's funny how people want to take actions and be bold about taking those actions and post them all on, YouTube, not YouTube, but what is it? Instagram or wherever she was posting it, but they don't want to be bold about being like, yeah, I hate black people and I did this to Jamaican Barbie. So be bold in suffering the consequences and taking the consequences. And she wasn't really bold because she was doing the stuff when the woman wasn't in the room. If she was really bold, she'd have done the stuff in front of her face, and then she'd have got her punishment, because that girl probably would have smacked the shit out, smacked the stuff, but anyway. Oh, Lord. Facebook will alert you when someone posts your photo, tagged or not. That facial recognition stuff is on jam, ain't it? 8-year-old's death may have been influenced by Ashanti Davis's suicide, authorities say. Rest in peace, y'all. A Palestinian girl arrested after slap video. Canada couple forced to spend Christmas apart after 70 years. I think they're like both in like old folks type retirement homes, but now one of them has to go to like more serious care, and so they're going to be separated. 2 fat cats, Russian circus under fire over obese lionesses. At first I thought maybe they were pregnant, but they were saying they were older, and when you get old you get fatter. But the people are like, y'all abusing them things, y'all ain't feeding them lions right. And I don't like the fact that the lions are on lockdown anyway. Who wants to be in a circus? Did the lions sign up for and apply for the job? Approaching 100 secrets of super agers. I'm a super ager. The same word has now been voted the most annoying word for 9 years in a row. I think the word is whatever. 9 ways getting married may change your relationship, even if you think it won't. Florida official who told black residents they were lucky to be brought over as slaves resigns. Canada spends as much on marijuana as wine. Virginia woman mauled to death by her dogs, police say. I like the idea of big dogs, and I kind of like big dogs, but I'm going to tell you, I feel like dogs are kind of mysterious to me. Like, I feel like communicating with humans is already like a mystery, and you never know what's on a human's mind, but a dog is a whole nother species. And I just figure Bella, she about 10, 12, 15 pounds, and if something go wrong, I always say, I figure I could take her. Like, if me and Bella had to fight, I think I'd probably be able to take her. But I wouldn't be able to fight with this Thomas. That dog is like 80, 90 pounds. I feel bad for her. Rest in peace. I'm sorry. She's mauled to death, they say, by her dogs. The Coast Guard is asking for help responding to many arms buildup with Russia in the Arctic. Wiley Branton convicted of a misdemeanor for teaching the mechanics of voting to blacks. In something out of a movie, it looks like Democrats in Virginia are about to score a huge victory based on a single vote. One vote. It was like the Republican had won by 10 votes. It triggered an automatic recount. Now the Democrat has won by 1 vote. Ooh. Australian police accidentally live streamed a secret meeting over plans to arrest a suspected North Korean agent. But they live streamed it. It sounds like amateur hour, but I guess everybody makes mistakes. But do pros make those kind of mistakes? I don't know. It sounds like amateur hour. Louisiana woman becomes 4th patient to die at Florida clinic following complications from cosmetic surgery. Oh, rest in peace. What's going on at this clinic? Stop having elective surgery. I know people want to do what they want to do, but dang, is it worth dying for? U.S. citizens among dead from bus crash in Mexico that killed at least 12. Wildfire evacuees in Southern California grow impatient as a massive blaze rages for a 3rd week. It's been 3 weeks. Lord have mercy. That's intense. Debtors in China are placed on a blacklist that prohibits them from flying, You in debt, you can't fly. You in debt, you can't buy train tickets. You in debt, you can't stay in a luxury hotel. Black Georgia mayor can't get the keys to his own office thanks to racist city council. Listen as Tiffany Haddish's ex-husband clears his name after actress's memoir accuses him of abusing her. Now, this is the same actress, Tiffany Haddish, who they say had a ghostwriter who was a white man who's already on Twitter talking about the fact that he the ghostwriter. So did they embellish the story? Did he think it would be cute to like make the black man look bad? Was her ex-husband black? Maybe he was white. I don't know what's going on, Miss Tiffany. I want to like you, girl. These birds create amazing black clouds in the sky. The derailed Amtrak train in Washington marks a tragic end to a $181 million project, and they had been working on it for years. Was it 10 years? Or was it 1 year? Whatever it was, I'm thinking it's something they're like, hey, let's do it tomorrow. And that's why it was sloppy like that. But they had been planning it for a while. They didn't do safety. They didn't do a safety. I mean, how did this happen? What's going on, Amtrak? Drinking hot tea may protect against the leading cause of blindness. I need to drink hot tea. I never drink hot tea, hardly. The retail apocalypse is disproportionately affecting women, and nobody knows why. You know, people are losing jobs in retail, and retail is overwhelmingly women, but men are gaining jobs in retail. Jerry Richardson is going to cash in big time by selling the Carolina Panthers following reports of disturbing allegations. So yeah, he's selling his team or hit the team, but he ain't losing no money. That's what I say about these people. Oh, they taking his name off this or he's stepping down on this, but they still got all the money they've been making and they still continuing to make money. So what's really the punishment? What are really the consequences? Underdog McDonald's, who knew McDonald's was an underdog, is defying ridicule to become the ultimate fast food burger chain. I thought McDonald's was the main. I don't eat fast food, so I didn't know. A rough new analysis shows the final GOP tax bill would favor the richest Americans. So we had to have a headline to tell us that. We didn't already know. Y'all didn't know? Well, now you know. Nicki Minaj receives backlash for white rapper comment. Wale comes to her defense. I think she said something like in the top 10 of the best top rappers is seven white folks. It's a good time to be a white person and rap or something. Jerusalem, U.S. vetoes UN resolution rejecting Trump's declaration. Trump made his declaration zero. The UN said no. And the U.S. said, well, we reject your rejection of our rejection of the Palestinians. And you can't get in the way of our sovereignty. We a sovereign nation. As much as we be out here violating the sovereignty of people and nations, hypocrisy is something. Tillerson abruptly leaves podium after dismissing resignation rumors as ridiculous in awkward exchange with reporter. A new polymer could make phone screen repairs a thing of the past. HBO developing Issa Rae executive produced male dating comedy and Windsor Hill set drama. Go Issa Rae, she becoming like the woman with Scandal on ABC. Issa Rae is like that black woman for HBO. Yes, girl, go ahead. Meryl Streep answers Rose McGowan's criticism over disgraced mogul Harvey Weinstein. Australians protest as far right joins coalition. Ford is doing something strange with its Fusion production line. The dog is upset over birds. I can't do nothing. Now this dog is upset because that dog is upset. Net neutrality is vital for people of color, and that's one more reason why Congress needs to make it law. Your steak isn't leaking blood. Here's what that red liquid really is. I thought it was some kind of chemical they added to it, but it's not. Here's how hard it is for native English speakers to learn other languages. White House is temporarily removing its petition tool after a year of silence. They might as well remove it. They ain't responding to people. The name of Kobe Bryant's business venture with $1 billionaire investor shows he is still obsessed about teams not drafting him. Senate Democrats, Al Franken, could have waited out an ethics investigation if he wanted. He seemed like he was pressured to resign, because when he gave his resignation speech, I was like, he ain't resigning. And I thought he was about saying, so that's why therefore I am not going to resign. But he said, I'm resigning effective whenever. Muslim Catalans. We've been talking about Catalan and Muslims, and here's a Glee actor Mark Salling pleads guilty to possession of child pornography. This stuff is hardwired when people are oriented that way. I don't know how you undo that orientation. CBS television studios options Thomas Mallon's book Watergate. ESPN president John Skipper resigned citing substance addiction. Black film critics circle winners led by Mudbound, Get Out, 3 Billboards scores double honor. South African picks Cyril Ramaphosa as leader. All right, that's what I got for notes on the news feed. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You, working on 200 subscribers. If you are a subscriber, yay! If you're a new subscriber, yay! Go on and join the yay party. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Today is the best day ever. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be